welcome back to my channel. My name is Nanekia. You can also call me Mom to 4 boys. Today I have this very interesting topic for you, but before we go ahead and talk about it, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also turn the notification icon. Anytime I post a video, you'll be notified. I don't want my videos to be lost in the source on YouTube, so just go ahead and subscribe, and also the notification icon is very important, because that is the only way YouTube will notify you if whenever I post any videos. All right, so today the topic I have for you, I don't know about you, but then when I was migrating to Australia, I had this premeditated some ideas in my head of things that I thought I would never see here, or things that you expect, and it turned out to be something else. I'm not in a bad way, okay, not in a bad way. So the topic is just things that I wish I knew before migrating to Australia. Okay, I don't know how much it is. I think I listed a couple of them this morning, and funny enough, I went to YouTube to just research and listen to what other YouTubers are saying, and it all turned out to be the same. So it tells you that things that I'm going to tell you, it is not me alone saying that, but that is what other people also think. Okay, so all right, so today the topic is about what I wish I knew before migrating to Australia. Okay, and I think I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It may be more as we go, but as of now I'll have 8. So 8 things I wish I knew before coming to Australia. Without much ado, let's go ahead. So number 1 is the weather. I don't know, but then back home, when you think about migrating to a developed country, in your head all you think about is winter and coldness and chilling. That is what you think in your head. And when we came here 2003 2004, I was so surprised. The weather was so hot. We got here in January so around summertime, and oh my goodness, it was very hot. It was very hot. Oh my goodness. So I remember asking my husband, so where is this place? Is this place Australia? Because in my head I thought this place is going to be winter like, and very cold, and it turned out to be very hot. It was that serious. The temperature can go up to about over 40 degrees Celsius, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. It was very hot. It's something I've never ever experienced before, and talking about experiencing it in a developed country, so it was so strange. And yes, during winter, some people also ask what about winter, but in winter time, compared to other places, I mean, here in Ipswich it can go up to minus 2 degrees Celsius, but me, I've been to the UK before, so sometimes comparing the two, I don't think Australia the winter is that much of a deal compared to other places. But yes, when it's winter time, it can get very cold. As I said, minus 2 degrees. I mean, it's very cold. But summertime, guys, summertime, my goodness, it can get so hot. Very hot. Sometimes you feel like you are in an oven. So you should get air conditioning in your house. So if you are migrating to Australia, think about air conditioning. That would be the first thing for you to think about. Air conditioning, not fans, because fans are going to blow the same hot air in your home. So think about air conditioning. The weather can be very hot, like very hot, and I never thought that you come and experience something like that in a developed country. So that is number 1 for me, and I'm not the only person saying this. A lot of people are saying that with my research, there's a lot of people saying the same thing. Number 2 is prices. Before coming here, back home, especially food, people talk about, I mean, you hear people saying something like, when you come to developed countries, food are very cheap. It is the cheapest thing wherever you go. but I think this is a false false information, because here in Australia, yes, the processed food that are processed and food like that are okay at a reasonable price. But then if you want to eat healthy, fruit and veggies and things that are very healthy, it's very, very expensive, to be very honest with you. You can buy about, sometimes you can buy 5 bananas for about $7. That is how expensive even food can be. So things are very, very expensive here. Apart from food, other things are very, very expensive. I mean, people like us who come from Africa, and sometimes we try to eat African food, and considering the fact that where it comes from, it is very far for it to get here. So African food are very, very expensive. Like, you can buy, for example, I like eating the plantain, so sometimes I can buy 1 kilo of plantain for about $12, which if you change it, it's equivalent to about 48 Ghana cedis for about 4 plantain. This is how expensive food can be. And living expenses here, like prices are very, very expensive, compared to other places. That is what I think, and I wish I knew that before coming to this place. Wild animals, number 3. Number 3, wild animals. When I was coming here, did someone, I remember my husband's uncle, he wasn't really happy for us to come here. I mean, he suggested other countries, and his main reason is there wild animals here, but I didn't know it was that wild, if that makes sense. Not to the point of them coming to your house and eat you or anything like that. You can see a lot of animals sometimes popping from the bush to your house, and I will tell you the story. I remember when we first moved into this house, and I went to the bathroom to have a shower, and you know how you stand at a position and you can see things from the side of your eyes. So I felt like something is moving, after I had a shower. I was just wiping myself and I felt like something is moving, so I decided to turn, and I saw iguana, a huge big iguana in my spa. Like, I'm talking about big iguana in my spa, and I'm like, and this is a double story. So I was wondering, how on earth would this animal climb to the spa? Like, it was so strange. This very big, this is a very huge iguana in my spa. So this is how wild animals are very easy for you to see. Apparently the 9 dangerous snakes are here in Australia. Yes, we've seen a couple of snakes around, so it's not hard for you to see wild animals. Like, they pop up they pop up, especially if you live in like a reserve. Like, we live like our house is overlooking the green, so we see a lot of animals that visit. They are not, I'm not saying they are very wild. They will come straight at you and do anything to you. Sometimes they see you and they run away. But then that was very strange to me. I never knew something like that. So it would have been good for me to know what you are sort of putting yourself into. But yes, most of them are very friendly. I mean, if they are going somewhere, if you've not done anything to them, they just walk past. And the same, I believe it's the same iguana came back again after about a year. But this time around, it was very big. The way it was walking around, you can see it know its way around. That is what I was thinking. So what we did was, there's a neighbor, very, very nice people. So they came to get this big animal and then put the animal in the forest. So I believe after a year, he was very big. It came back again. It was walking around, just minding its own business and walking around, eating from the floor, and it just disappeared somewhere. So this is not my first experience. I remember when I started teaching at the university, my first day, I was sitting there and there was this iguana eating everywhere from the leftover. Very huge, big one. And to me, I wanted to get up and run away, but everybody was just sitting there without even moving. Like, it was normal for them to see this big animal just walking and eating. So this is how, this is how the country is like. But then, don't get me wrong, they are very, very friendly. If you don't do anything to them, they are not going to attack you. Okay. Flies. And I know people are going to be very surprised, because I come from Africa, and if you think about coming to overseas or developed country, flies is something that you never even thought, you never even think about, you know, coming to meet flies here. I'm not talking about seeing one fly, or this is like a pile of them, especially summertime. So you have to, you know, your windows, I mean, if you are coming here, it will be a very good idea for you to cover your window with some sieving and things like that, else your food will be full of flies. Like summertime, it is just strange. It is just strange the way the flies just come everywhere you go. Like I was like, wow, this is strange. But yes, that's what it is. There's flies everywhere. Sometimes it gets so annoying, like, you know, you'll be eating in there everywhere. But apparently they don't cause any disease or anything like that, which is understanding. But how revolting it is for you to see flies everywhere. You know, sometimes they get onto people's, especially when you're doing barbecues and things like that. You just have to shush them out and things like that. This is, you know, how how flies you know how flies here in Australia behave. They are everywhere. So flies, summertime here, fly. Winter it is really good, you don't see them. But summertime you have to sieve your windows. Okay, just put the protective sieves on your windows so those flies will not come in. Okay, and get a lot of fly repellent and, you know, fly sprays and things like that. You need to invest in that, because guys, the next one is wages. Australians pay very high wages here, and all the time I come up with a story. I remember a friend of mine, I was talking to her on the phone, and it's like, oh, you a nurse? And I'm like, yes, I'm a nurse. Do you know how much this place they pay, you know, nurses? I wish you come to this place, you know, to work as a nurse, because you get a lot of money. And I'm like, so how much do they pay them? And she said this and that and that, and it's like, I get that in 20 minutes. Yeah, so wages, I think wages are, you know, high here. However, it sounds like they give it to you, the money, you get the money, but you are going to spend everything. That's what happens, because things are very, very expensive here. Accommodation, food, as I said before, you know, prices are way high up here. So you get the wage. I mean, people who work, there was this lady, I listened to a video before, you know, coming to make mine, and she was saying something like she used to work in a banana factory. You know, they plug banana, and they were paying her $24 an hour just to, you know, cut bananas or plug bananas, harvest them. So this is how much wages are high here in Australia. However, you end up spending everything. You get the money, but then you are going to spend everything back as well. So wages are a bit, you know, sort of, we have like a high wages here, you know, here in Australia. So the next one is the size of this place. Oh my God, Australia is big. The size of this place. I always talk to my mom on the phone, and it's like, oh, I'm going to buy something. Or sometimes, for example, she will ask me, because I have one of my brothers here, and then my mom will ask me, where does he live? And me, you know, being here in Australia, I'm like, oh, he's just about an hour away from me. And my mom is like, this is traveling. You are traveling somewhere. For you to travel an hour to go to a place, it's traveling. It's not just, but me being in Australia here, you know, this place being very big, an hour is not a bigger deal for me to go and visit my brother or anything like that. I mean, we always talk about Toowoomba. Just here, to me, I would say Toowoomba is just here, but I have to drive 2 hours for me to go to Toowoomba. So it's a very, very big place. You have to fly hours and hours from Melbourne to Queensland here. You know, yeah, so sometimes you have to fly about 6 hours from one state to another, which is from Ghana to the UK. It's about 6 hours. So this is how big the country is. I didn't know that, and I wish I knew before coming here. So it's a very big place. The size is very, very big. Smoking. Next one is smoking at an early age. I don't mind. People are adults, you know, they can do whatever they want to do. But I was so surprised. Some parents will sometimes talk to you and say something like, oh, I allowed my daughter to start smoking at the age of 14 years old. So me being an African sitting there listening to this, I'm like, oh, what? Is it this even a conversation? You know, if you know what I mean. But then it's normal. Smoking is just, you know, on the higher side here, both adult and teenagers. Like, come on, guys, it is that big. Which we didn't actually know. And also I'll add this, very, very strangely, you know, when teenagers get into a certain age, they're allowed to sort of use contraceptives. And you know, me coming from Africa, I'm like, what? This means you're allowing them to do what any parent do not want their kids to do, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I'm like, okay. Good, I don't have a girl child. You know, I would have loved it if I had a girl, but you know, sometimes you listen to things like that and then like, okay, this is something strange to me from where I come from. I mean, it is something no. Okay, once you are not married, I'm not saying they are not doing it, they are doing it even a very, very younger age. But then for it to be accepted that, you know, at this age you have to go and get contraceptive at this age, to me it was kind of strange to me. So I wish I knew things like that before coming. So I was like, oh, okay. It became like a cultural shock. It became like a cultural shock to me. Yeah, so how many? 8. So 8 things I wish I knew before migrating to Australia. This is what I have for you. Probably you know more, or wherever you are, probably you know more from what I said. Put them in the comment section down below. Okay, I thought this will help people who want to migrate to Australia. At least they know you know, some things for you to look out for. Okay, all right, so guys, my name is Nanekia. You can also call me Mom24Voice. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also turn the notification icon, so anytime I post a video, YouTube will notify you, because that is the only way YouTube is going to notify you whenever I post any video. Okay, call me Mom24Voice, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.